The entirely merciful, the especially merciful, may peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah the Almighty be upon all of you. I'm Umar bin Abid, and you're watching Umar Linguistics. So, dear viewers, in this lecture, we are going to solve and explain the study questions of Chapter 9 Semantics from the study of language. And the questions and the answers will be from 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th edition of this book. And actually in the 7th edition all the questions of previous editions are also included, and there are some more questions in 7th edition as well, which is published in January 2020. So this channel is bilingual, so I make each video both in English as well as in Urdu language individually. So if you want to watch this video, the same video in English, in Urdu, I have added the link in the description below, and in this video I'll speak only in English. Let's start. Question 1. What semantic feature must a noun have in order to be used in this sentence? So we have a sentence, the, and then a blank, were discussing what to do. So here we have to recall the semantic features which we have already discussed in the chapter, like animate, human, adult, such features. So what type of person can come here, what type of, you can say, entity can come here having a specific semantic feature. So the dash were discussing what to do. So by this word discussing what to do, so we can say that only the human can come here. We cannot use that the animals were discussing what to do, or we cannot discuss that the doors were discussing what to do. So therefore the semantic feature of a noun to be placed here, to be correctly placed here, will be a plus human, which means there must be a human in this blank. Similarly, if we want to further expand it, we can say that plus adult and plus human being, because usually we cannot use this for an infant, that the infants were discussing what to do. Question 2. Using semantic features, how would you explain the oddness of these sentences? So we have to tell that there is some oddness in these two sentences by using semantic features. Once again, the same semantic features: animate, adult, human, non-animate. So first of all, the television drank my water. Second one, his dog writes poetry. So grammatically these two sentences are correct, but semantically we know these two sentences are very odd or unlikely to be happened. So the television drank my water. So what is the flaw? That instead of television there must be a person or an animal. So there must be an animate, because the verb drank suggests that the preceding noun must be an animate, and it could be an animal further, and it could be a human. So therefore the verb drink requires a subject with the feature plus animate, and the noun television is actually having the feature minus animate, which is a non-living being, which cannot come here. Then the second one, his dog writes poetry. Once again, it's unlikely that dog can write poetry. So therefore the verb write, this verb, the verb write, requires the subject to be with the feature plus human being. So we can say the girl writes poetry, the boy writes poetry, or his assistant writes poetry, or his husband writes poetry, his wife writes his husband, not her husband, or his wife writes poetry. And the noun dog, it is actually minus human. It is animate, but it does not have the feature of human beings. Question 3. what phrase is used more often instead of semantic roles, and what other terms is used instead of same in the semantic analysis of the noun phrases. So instead of semantic roles we usually use more oftenly semantic roles, and instead of same we use the term patient. So semantic roles and patient are the answers. Patient is used usually instead of same in semantic analysis, and semantic roles are used instead of semantic roles. Although these are also correct, these can be used as well. And you will also look that in different books of semantics some writers used these words and some writers used these words. Question 4. What kind of opposites can be identified via the negative test? So we know we can identify non-gradable antonyms by the negative test, which we have already discussed in the chapter. And what are non-gradable antonyms? When speaking one word suggest or you can say implied the other. For example, when we say he is no more or he is dead, so actually it is implied that the person is no more alive. Or if we say he is alive or she is alive, so it implies that the person is actually not is still in this world. And in this way we can analyze non-gradable antonyms. And so we cannot say someone, yes, you are he is less alive or he is less dead, she is less alive, she is less dead, because once if someone is alive, so if it means he or she is still alive. How is the term prototype used in semantics? So prototype is actually the characteristic instance of a category. In other words, when we talk about prototype, for example, if we say what are the prototype of our birds, so the most you can say the common example or the most instance example which comes into our mind is usually the prototype. So as in the case of robin, so robin is considered to be the clearest example of prototype of the category bird. Similarly, when we talk about vegetable, in some parts of the world, or you can say most of the parts of the world, the category instance which comes usually potato, tomato, or something else. Alright, for many American English speakers, we all have already talked that prototype might change from one region to the other. It might be possible that in some parts of the world there is no more robin, so for them the prototype will not be robin, but might be another bird. It's also possible that in some parts of the world there are no birds, so however this is another case. Question 6. Identify the roles of the 7 noun phrases in this sentence. So in this sentence we have 7 noun phrases and we have to identify their semantic roles. So with her new golf club is the first one, Anne Marshall second one, whacked the ball the third one, the woods from the woods fourth one, to the grassy area is the fifth one, near the hole sixth one, and she is the seventh. So with her new golf club, so which suggests it is a actually instrument. Anne Marshall whacked the ball, so Anne Marshall actually did some action, so she would be an agent. Whacked the ball, so the action is performed on the ball, so it would be same. From the woods to the grassy area, from the woods mean which was the source, and to the woods which was actually the goal, and near the hole is actually location, and she suddenly felt invincible means she suddenly felt that she cannot be defeated, or she is too hard to be defeated. So invincible, so actually she felt invincible, so therefore she was experiencing something, so here she is experiencer. Question 7. Which of the following words are co-hyponyms? Ant, cabbage, insect, plant, turnip, and vegetable. So what are co-hyponyms? Co-hyponyms actually are the similar two words or two objects or two phenomena of same you can say same rank, but they belong to a superordinate. So co-hyponyms, ant, ant and insect cannot be co-hyponyms. Why? Because insect is a superordinate and all the insects come under the insect. Similarly, plant, uh, turnip, vegetable, and cabbage, they are similar, but what's the problem? That in plant we usually have, specifically we just talk about plants, but vegetable is another entity, and vegetable is actually the superordinate for cabbage and turnip. So there are only two co-hyponyms for the following words. There are cabbage and turnip, because insect and ant there are just two, and insect is superordinate. Then in plant there is no other plant in the list. So but there are vegetables, so vegetable is a superordinate for all the vegetable. So these are co-hyponyms. Question 8. What is the basic lexical relation between each pair of words listed here? So we have to tell the lexical relation between each pair of words listed here. Assemble, disassemble. So actually first of all, these are the antonym. The relationship is antonymy. Secondly, these are also can be reversives. Damp, moist. So actually the relationship between these two words are synonymy, so these are synonyms. Then deep and shallow. So deep and shallow, once again antonymy. Then we have dog and schnauzer. Now dog is actually the superordinate term, and schnauzer is one type of dog. So actually this is an example of hyponymy, when one word is included in the meaning of another. Then we have furniture and table. If we talk about furniture and table, so furniture is actually the superordinate term, and table is actually the subordinate term of furniture. So therefore furniture and table are hyponym, because the meaning the table is itself included in furniture, just like the schnauzer is considered to be included in dog. Then we have married and single, and actually the relationship between married and single, these are actually antonymy, because and at the same time these are antonyms of each other. These are also non-gradable antonyms. Why? Because if someone says that he or she is single, so it is implied that that person is not married. But if someone says that I am married, so it means the person is no more single. So, and similarly we cannot say someone that he is less married or she is less single or more single. Then we have move and run. Move and run. So once again the relationship between move and run is that they are hyponyms, because once someone is running, it is implied that he is moving. Alright, but moving doesn't mean that someone is running. So therefore move is the you can say some type of superordinate term. So once again this is hyponymy. Then we have peace and peace. So actually these are the example of homophone, and the relationship will be called homophony. So because two words, these are two words having different spelling but same pronunciation as well as different meaning. Then pen and pen. So when two words having same spelling, having same pronunciation, but even then they have you can say different meaning, so then they are known as so these are homophony, and this is actually homonymy. And homonyms. Alright. Pen can be used as a noun as well as sometimes verb as well. Alright. Moreover, this pen is also considered to be a pen also means a small plot of land surrounded by fence. Question 9. Which of the following opposites are gradable, non-gradable or reversive? So these are different types of opposites, so we have to identify which of them is in this set. Absent and present. So actually this is non-gradable, because if someone is absent, it is implied that the person is actually not present. Appear and disappear. So it is actually a reversive, because appear is the opposite process of disappear. Then we have fail and pass. Once again, these are non-gradable antonyms. We cannot say someone is less pass or less fail. If someone is fail in a subject, so he is fail. Although sometimes at many places the educational system or the test or the result system might be different, that these words might not be used. Then fair and unfair. So these can be gradable antonyms, because we can say that someone is less fair or someone is less unfair. Then we have fill it or empty it. Once again, these are the reversives, the opposite process. Then high and low, once again gradable antonym, less high or least high, or higher or highest. So in this way, low, lower, lowest. So therefore these are the gradable antonyms, non-gradable antonym, gradable antonyms. Yes. What is the lexical relationship between swallow, a small bird, and swallow, which also means to swallow your food, to make food or drink? So once again, these are the lexical relationship between these two words are actually homonymy, and these are actually homonyms, because both have same spelling but different meanings, and as well as the same pronunciation. What is the hierarchical relationship in the meanings of this set of words? So what is the hierarchical relationship in the meanings of this set of words? So if we look at this bronchitis, disease, influenza, pneumonia, tuberculosis, so we can say all are diseases. So therefore disease is the superordinate term of all these different types of diseases, and all of these words are actually co-hyponyms of each other. Alright. And we have we have the question number 12. Actually there was a different mistake in numbering. So are the underlined words in these sentences best described as examples of polysemy or metonymy? So what is polysemy? When a word has multiple meanings in different contexts, and metonymy when there is a part-whole relationship between different words, or when some words are used instead of other words. For example, White House is used for the US president. So such type of relationships are metonymy. I have discussed all these concepts in the videos in detail. If you are interested, you can watch the videos on the full chapter. So the pen is mightier than the sword. So actually this is the example of metonymy, because this relationship has been created in daily life, so therefore we use this. Then I had to park on the shoulder of the road. So shoulder has actually multiple meanings, so one of them is shoulder. If I can show you this from the Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary, for example, so you can understand that how we can identify that some word is a polysemous word. because under the same entry multiple meanings are given. So if I open the shoulder word, so here is the number 1, which is actually the either of the two parts of the between two arms, of two arms, and it has another meaning as well, this the same word shoulder, and that is in the adjective having the type of shoulders mentioned. In third, it has another meaning, the part of a piece of clothing that covers the shoulder. Similarly, meat, for meat we also use the word shoulder. Similarly, there are fifth meaning and sixth meaning as well. The fifth meaning is a part of something such as a bottle or mountain that is shaped like as shoulder. Similarly, it is also mentioned the side of the road is also known as shoulder. All right, especially North American English. So this is how we can identify that some word is actually you can say it either it is a polysemous word or it is a hyponym. If a word has multiple meanings under the same entry in a dictionary, so it will be considered as it will be considered as polysemous word. Then we have, and this has the polysemy relationship. Yes, I love those. I ate a whole box on Sunday. Now there is a part, you can say there is a part whole relationship, or in other words, actually this cannot be the part whole relationship, but one word is used for another concept. So I ate a whole box on Sunday, so it might be a box of some potato chips, it might be a box of some candies, it might be a box of any other thing or any other eatable thing. So once again, the relationship is metonymy, but here it is polysemy. Then the bookstore has some new titles in linguistics. So what do we mean by titles? So titles are actually representing books, so therefore once again it is metonymy. Computer chips created an important new technology. So chips can be potato chips, but chips can be some small devices used in computers and mobiles, so therefore once again it has multiple meanings, so therefore it is polysemy. Then I'm going to sue your ass, so it is actually once again the relationship of metonymy, because when someone says that I'm going to sue your ass, it means that I'm going to sue against you, I am going to file a suit against you. I think that kind of music was called new wave. So once again this wave is used in multiple meanings, so actually this is a polysemy. All right, so this is all about today's lecture. I hope you have understood it, so you can subscribe this channel if you have understood this lecture, and you can watch the other videos as well. So don't forget to give your feedback. Remember, in your press, jazakallahu khairan, and thank you.